Hey everyone, and welcome back to a new video. So in this particular video we are going to create this awesome looking admin dashboard from scratch. We are going to use React.js, Next.js 13, Tailwind CSS, Material UI, and there are a lot of functionality. So you can see that this will be our home page and this full project will be fully responsive. So let's see what exactly we are going to build. So here we'll be having some cards. Alright, then we'll be having a charts. Now how we are going to create for each and every section, we'll be having a different section. So let's start with this charts page. So here basically we will be having all the charts. So now we'll be creating bar chart, line chart, pie chart, stack chart, area chart, and the mix chart. Now obviously one thing I want to mention, this is a static website, so I will be creating a part 2 for this particular project. In that section I will be creating the backend and then we'll combine, and this will be a full stack project. The reason why I'm only creating the front end part in this particular video, or else this video will be very long. So here in this chart section we will be basically having all the charts, and based on that whatever you want to include in your dashboard, those charts you can basically add in your dashboard page. Let's go to the task page. So here basically we'll be having all the tasks. Now whatever task we will be adding here, that will be reflected in our Kanban board. So let's see, I'll just add another one. So let's say working every day. If I now add this one here, for now we will be storing this one in our storage. If I now go to board, you'll see that working every day will be reflected here. If I now try to move this one to to-do section, this will be movable. If I now refresh this, we will be basically getting the updated data from our storage. So you can see that we are getting the data here. If I now try to move this one to done state, now refresh this, so you can see that we will be basically getting the updated data here. If I now try to go to the dashboard page, the same data will be reflected here. So you can see that we will be having the same thing here. If I now try to move this one to unassigned, let's go to our board. See, this is reflected here. Now let's go to our report section. So here we will be having all the reports. You will be able to create a new report. So I'll go here. Let's create a new one. I'll give some value here, and we will be able to select from our task. So I'll select the last one, add a new report. This is added. If I now try to go to the dashboard page, you can see that this will be reflected here. So you can see that this data is reflected. So this is exactly what we are going to build. This here also will be able to toggle between light to dark theme and the vice versa. So if I click here, you can see that this is a light view. Alright, this is the task page, this is the Kanban board page, and the chart page. Let's go to our dashboard. If I now try to open this one in a mobile view, you can see that this is fully responsive. Okay, so we'll be having this icon here. So let's move this one on the right section. So on click of that, you can see that this will be basically the sidebar will toggle, and this is fully responsive. You can see that here. Okay, all the charts and everything, and there are a lot of things that we are going to build. And you can see that if I move to the larger section, this is fully responsive. Now we are getting the sideboard here. So this is exactly what we are going to build. If you like this particular video, I'm requesting everyone to please like my videos, comment down, and also please subscribe to my channel, because if you subscribe, then only I'll get like so much inspiration, and this will basically inspire me to create more videos. Alright, my actually target is to complete at least 10k subscriber, and also thank you all for your support. Let's get started, and we are going to create this awesome admin dashboard from scratch. So in the next part, we are going to first installing all the packages that we need, and after that we will be start creating our charts component. So let's get started, and good luck. Hey everyone, and welcome back. So you can see that I already created one project, and here what I have done, I just added some of the Tailwind CSS config that we need. So basically here in the extend section, you can see that we are having some font family, box shadow, and the background image. Then there are some screens, resolutions, some colors that we are going to use in this application. Now before that, one very important thing what we need to do, we have to install all the packages that we are going to use in this particular project. So let's do one thing. Let's open another terminal. So I'm going to install all the packages that we need. So the first thing is that we will start with installing. So you're going to use Material UI table. So you have to install the Material UI package. So for this one, we'll do @emotion /react Then we also need @emotion/styled. After that we need MUI/material. Then also we are going to use MUI/xDataGrid. Next we need the chart library. So for the charts we are going to use this React Apex charts. We also need Next themes. Now this is another package that we are going to use to implement the light and dark theme. What else we need? We also need the drag and drop package, and for this one we are going to use this DND kit. So this is a very famous package. So DND kit/core. Also we are going to use React icons, and also we'll use this Tailwind CSS -RTL. So this is another package that we are going to use. For now I think this is fine. So now let's hit enter and install all the packages, and then the first thing what we are going to do, we will be start working on the main layout, page creation, the global context creation, next theme provider creation, and after that we'll be start working on the sidebar and the navbar component. So let's wait for some time. Alright everyone, so the installation is now completed. So let's do one thing. Let's start creating our context. So for this one, inside the source I'll create another folder, and let's give this one name as context, and let's create index.js. So here we'll do use client. So first we are going to create our context. So this will be export const global context, and we'll do create context of null. Then we'll do export default function. We'll do global state, which will receive the children components, and we are going to return global context dot provider, and we are going to pass the children here. For now, as a value we will pass this one as empty object. Alright, so now I think this is fine. Now we have to use this one on the global level. So let's go to our layout. So this is our main global layout, and here what we can do, we can simply import that global state component. So this will be global state, and we are going to pass this children. So this is first step that we need. Next, what we need to create, we have to create the theme provider. Now for this one we already use this next theme package. So what we can do, here inside source I'll create another folder, and let's give this one name as theme provider, and here we'll do index.js. So here also you have to do use client, and then we are going to first we'll do export default function, and this will be let's give this one name as next theme provider. This is also will receive the children as a prop, and here what we are going to do, we are going to return theme provider. So this theme provider we are going to import from next theme, and here we are going to pass this children. Now here also we need to do another thing. So we'll import the React. So we'll do import star as React from React. Alright, now here we have to pass certain properties. So the first thing we'll pass attribute, which will be class. Also we are going to use default theme, so we'll use the dark as a default theme, and also we'll do enable system as false. Alright, let's format this. Now next thing what we are going to do, so we have to use this one in our main global layout again. So you can go here, then inside this tree we can simply import this next theme provider, and then you can pass the children here. That's it. So these are the two important steps that we need to do. So now let's do one thing. I think I already run this one here, so you can see that we are getting some error. So let me just rerun this. So I'll just rerun this project again, because I think that we already installed this Tailwind package. So we'll do npm run dev. Let me just reconfirm once to go to package.json. So we have Tailwind CSS RTL. Alright, so this is fine. Now what is the next step that we need to do? So first thing we are going to create our, so again we are getting some error. Alright, so now this is fine. Awesome. Alright, so the first thing we are going to start with creating our main common layout component. Alright, now common layout, basically what I'm trying to say, so on the left side we are having the sidebar, and on the top we will be having the header, and then in this section we'll be having the main component, correct? So this header and the sidebar will be always common, so that is the reason we are going to create a common layout so that it will be easy to manage. So let's do one thing. So here we'll go, and then we are going to create another folder inside this source, and I'll give this a name as components. So we'll be creating all the components here. So first we'll start with our common layout, and inside this we'll create index.js. Let's close everything else. Now here we are going to use the hooks, so you have to create this one as a client component. So we'll do this one as a export default function. This will be common layout. This will receive the children as a prop, and here what we are going to return, so we'll be returning our JSX here. So we'll take a div, let's take a class name here, so we'll do flex, height of full, width of full, we'll do here bg background 100, and for dark we'll do bg background 900. Now here for now I'll take this one as a sidebar, so this will be our sidebar component. Alright, so we'll be creating this component here, and let's do one thing, let's quickly create this. So we'll create another folder, this will be sidebar, and we'll do index.js. so here we'll do use client, so this will be export default function sidebar, and we are going to return here div, and this is our sidebar, and let's import it here. So we're going to import sidebar. That's it. Next we'll take another div, we'll take a class name, we'll do height of full, width of full, we'll do font dm, we'll do dark bg navy 900. Alright, inside this we're going to take our main. Now here what we'll do, we'll take a class name for this one also. So let's take a class name, so we'll do mx of 2.5, we'll do flex none, we'll do transition all. For dark we are going to do bg navy 900. For md we are going to do pr, which is padding right of 2, and then for XL we are going to do margin left of 323 px. Inside this we'll take another div, and here we are going to import our header component. So here we'll create our another component, so let's give this a name as header, and we'll create index.js. so this will be again a client component, so it will do export default function, this is header, and we'll return here div, and this will be header. So here we are going to import this header component, and now we'll be rendering the children. So here we'll be having the main children, and here we'll take a class name, so we'll do mx of auto, we'll do mean height screen, p of 2, we'll do a padding top of important, so we'll do a 10 px, and also we'll do md p of 2. Alright, so this is done. So this is about our common layout. So now this one we need to use your main layout. So you can go here, then what you can do, you can simply import this common layout here, and you can pass these children. If I now format this, save it, let's see. So you can see that we are already getting the color here. So here we are getting header, and this is our, here we are having sidebar, and this is our main component. So this is basically will change based on different round this content here. Alright, so now what is the next step? So next step, let's do one thing, let's quickly start on this sidebar component first and the header. Once these both are finished, then we will be start working on the creating all the charts first. Alright, so there are a lot of things to do. Let's start working on the sidebar component. Alright everyone, so let's start working on the sidebar component, but before that one thing I want to mention. So what I have done, I created another folder here inside source. So this is a utils folder, and inside this I am having some of the routes that we'll be having. So you're having this dashboard, reports page, task, Kanban, and also charts. So these all the routes that we are going to use, and for each and every route we are having the name, layout, and the icon that we are going to use. Now all the icons are imported from React icons. Now the reason why I'm not writing all of this, because obviously this will take a lot of time. Alright, so now let's start working on the sidebar component. So we'll go here and then let's close everything else. So the first thing what we are going to do, I'll remove this from here. So we'll take a div. Now here let's take a class name. Now here what we are going to do, another thing, we'll open our context and we are going to create our first state here. So the first will be const open sidebar set open sidebar. So we're going to take this one as small, and this will be use state of false, and this one we are going to pass it here. Alright, so now here we are going to import it. So we'll import this one using use context, and then we'll pass our context, which is global context. Alright, now here we have to take the class name. So the first we'll start with, we'll do sm none, we'll do a duration of 1, let's make this one as 200, then we'll do this one as linear, or let's make this one as fixed. We'll do a z index of we'll do a 50, and this will be important. We'll do a flex, we'll do mean height full, we'll do flex column, then we'll do bg white. Alright, pb of 10, we'll do a shadow of 2xl, we'll do a shadow white, and then what else, we'll do a transition wall. For dark we are going to make this one as important, so and this will be bg navy 800, so this will be the background. For dark we are going to make this one as text white. For md we are going to do z index of 50. For large also we'll do the same, and this all will be important. And for xl we are going to make z index of 0. Alright, now here we are going to take some condition, so here we'll take here, we'll check if this open sidebar, if this is true, so we'll do a translate x of 0, or else we'll do minus translate x of 96. Alright, and for xl we are going to do translate x of 0. So this is fine. Now inside this what we are going to do, we will take another span. Now here for this one we are going to make a class name, we'll do this one as absolute, we'll do a right of 4, we'll do a top of 4, we'll do block, cursor as pointer, and for xl we are going to make this one as hidden. Now here what we'll do, so here we are going to use a icon, so we'll import the icon from React icons /hi, and this is hix. So we are going to use this one here, so this will be hix. And what we'll do, on click of this icon we are going to make this set open sidebar as false. Alright, now after this what we'll do, we'll take another div here, we'll take a class name. So for this one we'll do a mx of 56px, empty of 50px, we'll do flex, and we'll do item center. Now inside this we'll take another div. So here we'll be having the text. Now the name of the website you can give any name you want. I'll give this one as admin dashboard, something like that. Here I'll give class name, so we'll do ml of 1, empty of 1, we'll do height of 2.5, we'll do text as 20px, we'll do font bold, we'll do text navy 700, and for dark we're going to make text as white. Save it, let's see what you're getting. Alright, so this is fine. Now next what we are going to do, so after this we'll take another div here. So here what we can do, basically we can, or let's take this one as a UL. So we are going to render all the routes, and for this one we'll do a class name, we'll do mb of auto, and we'll do pt of 1, padding top. So here what we can do, we can simply import the routes. Sorry, this will be routes dot map, this will be route item, and here we are going to return li, or let's return link, because on click of that we are going to know, you can definitely use here use router, but you can use link, I think that is also better. Now here we have to give the href. Alright, so for href it will go to the route item dot layout. Alright, also let's give a key. So here what we can do, we can simply give, let's take a index or anything, let's take index only, because these routes are not going to change, right? So we can use the index. So inside this what we'll do, we'll take another div, we'll take a class name. So for this one we'll make this one as relative, we'll do mb of 3, and we'll do flex, and what else, we'll make this one as on hover, we'll do cursor pointer. Now here we'll take a li, now here we'll do a class name. So for this one we are going to do my of 3px, we'll do flex, we'll do cursor pointer, we'll do item center, and px of 8. Alright, so inside this we'll take a span, and we are going to render this route item dot icon, and here we are going to use a class name. So for this one we'll do font medium, and we'll do text gray, let's use 600. After this span we are going to take a paragraph, and we are going to render this route item dot name. Alright, so here we'll take a class name, so we'll do here leading 1, font bold, we'll do a text of we'll make this one as 20px, we'll do ml of 4, we'll do flex, what else, we'll do font medium, and we'll do text gray 600. Sorry, I think we are already using font bold here, let's use font medium only. Let's save it, let's see what is happening. Alright, so this is coming, but here I think there are some issue. Let me just check what is the problem here. Oh, we have to close this. Now I think this should work. Alright, also let's keep some margin top on this UL. So what we can do, we can give a margin top of probably, if I give 10, let's give 20. Okay, and also let's do another thing, let's give a mx of 50. Let's quickly check once. Okay, I think we are using height also. Let's remove this one from here. Alright, so let's see. So 42, we can give 42 here. Okay, so I think now this is fine. So this is fine. So you have dashboard, reports, task, Kanban, and then charts. So now let's start working on this header component. Now header will be pretty simple. We'll be having this header here for each and every individual page, and on the right side we'll be having the toggle icon to switch between light theme to dark theme and the vice versa. Also, let's remove this page content from here. We don't need. So let's go to our main page.js, and I'm going to remove all of this, and here we'll take a main only, and let's give this one as a dashboard. Alright, so this is our dashboard page. So let's start working on the header component. So now I think we already created our component, so this is our header. So let's close everything else. So what we can do, so this will be a nav. So we'll take a nav. For this one we are going to use a class name. So what we can do, we can make this one as a sticky. We'll do top of 4, z index of 40. We'll do flex row, flex wrap. We'll do item center, justify between. We'll do rounded XL. We'll do BG white divided by 10. We'll do P of 2, and we'll do a backdrop blur XL. Alright, and for dark, what we'll do, we'll use this BG color, which will be 0B14374D. Let's format this. Alright, now inside this, let's give enter. So we'll take a div here, and let's use a class name. We'll do a ml of 6px, and here we'll take a paragraph. Now for this one, here what we are going to render, will be rendering the current page. So if I click here, it should go to the slash dashboard, and then if I click here, it's go to the slash reports page, something like that. So for now I'll give this one a static value, so later I'm going to change this one. So this is now a static name. So here we are going to give a class name. So for this one we'll use a text of 32px. We'll do this one as capitalize. We'll do text navy, we'll do 700, and for dark we're going to do text of white. Alright, so after this P, what we can do, let's do one thing. I think for now this is fine. What else we can give? So after this div, we are going to take another div. So on the right side we'll be having two things. One will be the icon to toggle the theme, and another one will be to open this open the side navbar for the mobile device, right? So we'll be having some kind of icon. On click of that, we'll be toggling this sidebar here. So for this div, let's take a class name. So we'll do this one as relative flex. We'll do margin top of 3px, and we'll do this one as item center, justify end. We'll do gap of 4. We'll do this one as gap of 4. We'll do rounded full. We'll do BG white, PX of 2, PY of 2, shadow XL, and we'll do for dark, we're going to do BG navy of 800, and for dark we're not going to use any shadow. So we'll do dark shadow. We'll make this one as none. We'll do shadow none. Alright, and for Excel we are going to do a gap of 2. So I think this is fine. Now inside this we'll take another span. Now here we are going to render the icon. So for this one, let's import these icons. We'll do import something from React icons, and this will be from fi, and the icon name is fi align. Sorry, this will be fi align justify, and this we are going to use here. So this will be fi align justify, and here we are going to use a class name of height of 5, width of 5. For this span also we're going to use a class name. So we'll do this on as flex, or let's make this on as cursor pointer. We'll do text of Excel, we'll do text gray 600. For dark we'll do text as white, and for Excel we are going to hide this one because for larger device we don't need to show that. Alright, now next, what else we need? We also basically need the toggle icon. So here will be toggle icon to toggle between dark theme and the light theme. So we'll take a class name here, we'll do cursor pointer, and we'll do text gray of 600. Alright, now here what we are going to do, basically we have to handle the switch from that light and the dark theme. So how we are going to do that? So for this one we have to use something from the next theme package. So we'll import this theme and this set theme from this use theme hook. This is from next themes. So here we'll be able to basically check that if this is a dark theme, so if the theme is equal to dark, so we'll render one icon, or else we'll render a different icon. So for this one we are going to import another from this package. This is ri, and here we are going to use this ri sun, I think sun fill, and then we are having ri moon fill. That's it. So if this is dark, so we're going to render ri sun fill, or else this will be ri moon fill. And here we are going to use a class name. We'll do height of 4, width of 4. We'll do text gray 600, and for dark we are going to do text of white, and for this one also we'll use the same. That's it. Let's format this. Also, now on click of this you have to handle that. So we'll do on click, and I'll create a method. So here we'll do set theme. So we'll do if the theme is equal to dark, so we'll make this one as light theme, or else this will be dark theme. And this is pretty simple. And now I think this is done. Let's save it. Let's see what you're getting. So you're getting some static name, but here we are getting this icon. If I now say click here, see, this is very easy to do, right? This is now changing very easily. Now you'll notice one thing. If I now go for the smaller devices, see, now this icon is coming here, and if I now click here, we have to open this, right? So that also you need to do. So what you can do, you can simply do const import from this use context of global context. What is the name? So the name is set open sidebar, right? So this will be set open sidebar and the open sidebar. So what we can do, simply we can go here and let's take on click here. So on click, what we can do, we can make this set open sidebar is not equal to open sidebar. So we are basically toggling. So now if I go here and click this, see, now this is opening and closing, and also we have this one, and this is working fine, right? Let's make this one on the right side. And now if I go for large device, this is still coming, and then if I go a little bit more than 1200, see, now this is hidden and we are seeing this one. So this is working fine. Now this name we need to basically change based on this route name. So this part we are going to do in the next part, but for now this is fine. Now let's discuss the strategy how we are going to complete this. So the first thing is that we'll do on the reverse, because this dashboard is basically at the end will be the combination of all the pages. So whatever charts we'll be having, we'll be importing those in dashboard. Same for this Kanban board, then task and the reports. Another thing I already mentioned in the introductory video, that's whatever data will be playing in this particular website, that will be static data. So that I already have created, so you're not going to use much functionality. So this basically will give you some of the idea how to work with chart, and this how to implement this drag and drop functionality, lot of other things. What I'll do in the next part of this particular project, so there will be another part where I'll be creating the backend for this. So now what will happen, you can combine that and then you'll create a full stack. The only reason I'm not creating in this particular project, because the length will be very big, so that is the reason I'm dividing this one into two parts. All right, so now we'll start with these charts. Once we'll complete all the charts, we'll go to this task page. Once we'll complete this task functionality, we'll go to this Kanban board, we'll implement the drag and drop functionality, then we'll go to the reports, and after that in the dashboard page we'll be combine all of this and our work will be done. So let's start working on this functionality first, and then after that we'll be start working in this chart here. Alright everyone, so let's start creating all the pages. So the first thing what I'm going to do, I'll create all the pages at once. So inside app, now we'll start with the dashboard. So we'll do dashboard, and inside this we'll create our let's create all the folder first. Then we'll be having reports, then we'll be having tasks, then we'll be having Kanban, and also we'll be having charts. So let's create page.js. So here will be export default function. This will be charts. So we'll return here div, and this will be charts. Let's save it. Now let's copy this and we'll paste it here, 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 and here. So this will be our tasks, and this will be tasks. Then we'll be having reports, then this will be our reports. This is our Kanban board, and this will be Kanban. Then we'll be having dashboard. So this will be our dashboard. Alright, so now let's go back. I'll see that if I now click here, so going to the dashboard, then you're having reports, tasks, Kanban, and then charts. Now what we need to do, whenever we change this one, we have to name this static name. Another thing, if you noticed, on this slash route we don't have anything. So whenever we'll go to this slash route, what we can do, we can simply navigate the user to the dashboard page. So to do this one, what we can do, we can go to our common layout component, and then we'll simply import the path name. So this will be path name, which will be use path name. This will basically give you the current path name, and here we can check if this path name is equal to slash. So we can simply return the dashboard page, or else we are going to return the children. Alright, so now let's see what will happen. If I now save this, see, now it's going to the dashboard page immediately. If I go to reports, this is fine, these all are fine. Now if I now try to access this page, it's immediately going to the dashboard page. So this is what we want. Now what we need to do, we have to change this static name here. This is also pretty simple. So you can go to our header, and then we can import this path name again. So this will be use path name, and here so where we are doing this static name, so this path name will basically give you, if I now in this reports, it will give you this slash reports. We can split this slash here, and then we'll get this report name. Alright, and then what we can do, see, there are so many other ways also you can do that, but this is one of the way that we are trying to achieve. So what we can simply do here, path name dot split. So we'll split with this, we'll take the first element, and then we'll do two uppercase. That's it. Now let's format this, save it. Let's see. So now we're getting reports. Click here, dashboard, tasks, Kanban and charts. If I now try to go to the slash route, so it's going to this, but in this case this is not happening. Now this is one very trick thing that we need to do. So what we can do, simply here we can do something like that. So here we'll go and then we can check if the path name is equal to slash. So we'll simply import this. This will make this one as dashboard, or else will be this. Now let's see. So you're getting now dashboard. If I click here, this is dashboard, reports, and everything else is working fine. If I try to go to the slash page, so this will be same. This theming is also working fine. Alright, I think we have done this on opposite. I think now this time this should be that moon one, right? So let's check that one here. So we'll make this one as moon fill, or let's make this one as light here. That's it. Alright, so now this is fine. If I try to change to light, this is working fine. So now let's start working on this chart component. So here we will be creating all the charts first. For this one, whatever data in the configuration we are having, for that one I'm not going to write all of this one by one, because that will take a lot of time. There are a lot of configuration. What I've done, I actually go to the official website of the React Apex charts, from where we'll be writing those. From there I just copied the same configuration. I just modified some, not that much, only change the color and those things. I will obviously add the GitHub link in the description, so you can just go there, download it or fork it and use the same. In the next part, when we'll be creating the backend for this particular project, then we'll be creating all the data dynamically. So that is the reason for now what I'll do, whatever configuration I already created, I'll just copy paste and then I'll discuss with you that what are the changes that we are going to use. So let's do that in the next part. Alright everyone, so let's start working on the chart, creating all the charts that we'll be having. So we'll be having two categories of bar charts, line chart, pie chart, area chart, and also the mix chart. So what I've done, you can see that I created all of these data. So now I'm not created, actually I just copied from the official doc and just I modified some of the data and the colors. Later when we'll basically create all this data dynamically using backend, so in that case we don't have to change anything on the options, but these data will be creating dynamically. For now all of these static. So you can see that we are having bar chart data category 1, then we have in category 2 pie charts, pie chart option, pie chart data, then we are having, if I scroll down, line chart data, then area chart data, and also mix chart data. So for this one, the first thing what we're going to do, inside components, I'll create another folder and this will be our charts. Alright, so this is inside components. Now here I'll create two files. So one will be the chart layout. So this is the common chart layout, and then we'll be having chart card. Alright, .js. Now to create the chart card, for this one we are also going to create another reusable component, that is the card, common card, that we'll be using in throughout this application. But before that, first let's create this chart layout. Alright, so here in this case we are going to use some hooks. So we'll be using this one as a use client. So this will be export default function, and this will be chart layout. Now here we'll be using some of the props from our components. So the first thing we are going to use the chart data, then we are going to use chart options, and also we're going to use the type of chart that we want to render. And here this is pretty simple. What we need to import, we have to import chart. So let's import it. So we'll do import chart from, this will be React Apex charts. Alright, so here we are going to pass some options. So the first will be our options. So here what we can do, we can directly pass this option here. So let's create one state here. So we'll do this one as something like update chart data, set update chart data. This will be use state of empty array. So we have to give comma. Let's copy this. So this will be update chart options, set update chart options. This will be of empty object. Now here we'll do use effect, and on first time on page load we are going to set this. We'll do set update chart data option will be chart options, then set update chart data will be chart data. So here we can pass this update chart data options, then we can pass the series which will be our update chart data, and then we have to pass the type. This type is basically the type of chart, so this will be type that will be receiving from the props. We'll pass a width, so we'll pass this one as 100%, and also we'll pass a height of 100%. So this is all about the chart layout that we need. Now the reason we are not creating multiple times, because there is no need, because at the end you will be passing the options and the series and the type. So what you can do, you can simply manipulate this data, and based on whatever type you will be passing, based on that it will automatically create that chart. So now next thing, we have to create the chart card, but before that we have to create another reusable component, that is our cart and widget. Now these two components we are going to create in our dashboard main layout page also. So let's quickly create those two components first, and then we'll be creating this chart card component. The reason is because in this component we have to import those components, so that is the reason we have to create those two components first. So what we can do, let's inside these components, let's create another folder we can create. Let's make this one as card, and this will be index.js. all right, so here we'll do export default function card. All right, so now here what we are going to do, so we'll simply return div, and we are going to return here the children that we'll be receiving. So here we'll be receiving these children as a prop, and also what are the next thing that we need to do, we also have to pass the additional style that we have to manipulate from our parent component. So obviously we'll be having some default style here. Let's say you have to pass some extra, or let's make this one as additional styles. So here we'll take a class name. So the first thing we'll do a class name here. So here we'll do a z index of 5. We'll do relative, flex column, we'll do rounded 20px, we'll do bg of white, we'll do bg clip border, we'll do shadow of 3xl. Also we are going to pass a shadow 100, and for dark we are going to do shadow as none. Also for dark we are going to make this one as bg navy 800. For dark we are going to do text as white. Now here if we are passing any additional styles, we'll pass these additional styles here, and I think for now this is fine. All right, so that means this is one common reusable component that we are going to use. Now we can start working on this chart card component. So here what we can do, we can simply create this component. So this will be export default function, and this will be chart card. Now here we are going to receive some of the props. So the first thing, we receive the type of chart, the title we want to render, then we are having chart data, and then chart options. All right, now here what we'll do, return this card component that we've just created. Now inside this, whatever we'll be passing, that will be the children. So here we are passing the children. So now what we can do, here we'll pass additional styles. So this is the additional style we need. For this one we'll make this one a flex column, bg of white, we'll do w full, we'll do rounded 3xl, we'll do py of 6, px of 2, and we'll do text as center. All right, inside this we'll take another div, we'll take another h2. we'll take h2 here and we'll render the title. So for this one we'll use a class name. So we'll do text as large, we'll do font bold, we'll do text navy 700, and for dark we'll do text as white. That's it. For this div we are going to use a class name. We'll do mb of auto, we'll do flex item center, justify between, and we'll do px of 6. That's it. So now after this we are going to render a button, and here we will basically show some kind of icon. So for this one we'll import this icon from react icons /md, and let's import the md bar chart. So here we'll be having md bar chart. For this one we'll use a class name of height of 6 and width of 6. For this button we are going to use a class name. So z of 1, we'll do flex item center, justify center, we'll do rounded large, we'll do bg light primary, we'll do p of 2, we'll do transition, and we'll do a duration of 200. For hover we're going to do bg gray 200. Alright, what else? For dark we have to make this one, so we'll do bg navy 700, and text we are going to use this ffc for 6b. So let's save it. So this is the chart card. So on the top we'll be having text, and right side will be having the icon. Now next thing what we are going to do, so after this div we'll be taking another div here, and we'll take a class name. So we'll do md, so here we'll do empty of 16, then we'll do large empty of 0. Here we'll take another div, we'll do a class name. So we'll do height of 250 px, width full, and for XL we'll do height of 350 px. Now here we are going to import our common chart. What is the name? We are having chart layout. So this is the chart layout, and here we'll be passing this chart data as this chart data. So here we are receiving this one, then we'll be passing the type here, and also we'll be passing the chart data options, which will be our chart data options, and this is done. So this is all about the chart card that we need. So now let me just do one thing. For now, open this one here, so let's see how this is coming. Okay, so now let's go to our charts page. So we'll go here. I'll just simply render some of the charts. For now I'm not create the layout, just to test. So inside this div let's return here chart card. Now here I need to pass the chart data. So here I'll pass bar chart category 1, and then chart data options I'll pass bar chart category bar chart options for category 1. We'll pass a type, so for type we'll pass a bar, and title we are going to pass this one as bar chart. Let's see what is happening. So now let's format this, let's save it. So now I'll go to this chart page. See, awesome. So you're getting bar chart here, so this is looking nice. So that means this is working fine. So now what we need to do is simply import all the chart card and then based on the data or the type we'll be passing, based on that we can create any chart we want. So in the next part, what we are going to do, we'll create this layout, and then we are going to pass the type and the title, and based on that it will automatically create all the charts. So let's do that in the next part. Alright everyone, so now we have tested, so let's quickly create all the charts that we basically need in this particular page. So I'm going to remove this from here. So now let's take one div here, and here I'm going to take a class name. So for this one we'll do empty of 5, we'll do grid columns of 1, and for also let's take a gap of 5, and for MD we're going to only show 2 charts, so we'll do grid columns of 2. Now we'll be having total 6 charts, so I'll take 3 container, so I'll copy paste 2 more times. For each and every container we'll be having 2 charts. So we'll start with this first one, so we'll be having chart card. So here we have to pass the type, so sorry, type, this will be bar. Alright, then we have to pass the title, so we'll do bar chart. We have to pass the chart data, so this will be bar chart data category 1. Then you have to pass chart options, which will be bar chart data options category 1. Let's copy this. Now I'll paste it here. So for this one I will make this one as line, so this will be line chart. So here I'm going to import line chart data and then line chart options. If I now save this, let's see, so we're getting 2 charts here. Awesome. So now next let's copy this again. So here I'll paste it. So the third one, this will be pie chart, so I'll do pie, this will be pie, and this will be pie chart data and pie chart options. Let's save it. Let's see. Awesome. So now next let's copy this, and here we'll paste it again. So this one also will be a bar chart, so but the type will be basically stacked, so we'll name this one as stacked chart. So here this will be bar chart category 2, and then we're having bar chart options category 2. So now let's save this. Let's see. So you can see that this is a stack one. Now let's copy this again, and then we'll paste it 2 more times. So the fifth one will be area chart, so we'll do area, and this will be area chart, this will be area chart data, and this will be area chart data options. And here this will be mixed chart data, so here we have to pass a type of line, so we'll do this one as mixed chart. So this will be mixed chart data, and here we'll do mixed chart data options. If I now save this, so we'll get 2 more, so you're getting area chart and the mix chart. Awesome job. So this is working fine on the mobile. If I now go for this one, so you can see that we are getting 2 for each and every grid, we are getting 2 charts here, right? So this is working fine. So we are having some issue with this legend. I think this is because of the color, so this will fix it later. Or else what I'll do for this one, I think I just need to change some configuration, so I'll change in the config file that I created. But rest all the data options and the configuration, that whatever I've written, the same you can use. Alright, now you can see that this is fully customizable. So whenever we'll integrate this one with backend, what you need to do, you just have to pass the data and the title, automatically it will generate. So I think this is done. So now let's see. If I now go to charts page, awesome, this is looking also very nice. Now in the next part, what we are going to do, we'll start working on this task page, because this task and this Kanban board both are interrelated with each other. So how this will work, so in this chart page, in this task page, whatever task we'll be creating, that will be reflected in this board. So in the board we'll be having, I think, 4 separate board. One will be unassigned, then to dos, in progress, and done. And based on that we have to start working on that drag and drop functionality. So in the next video we'll be start working this task page, and after that we'll be start working on the drag and drop functionality. So let's start working on that. Once these 2 are done, then we'll do reports page, and then in the dashboard page we have to combine all of this and everything will be done. Alright everyone, so let's start working on the task page. So here the first thing what we'll do, let me just format this here, and then we'll go to our context first. So to create some state, and here I'll create another state. So this will be all task, and this will be set all tasks. So this will be use state of empty array, and here I'm going to pass it here. Now when we'll be working on the Kanban board, so in that part you have to create some more state, but for now this is fine. So here let's go to, let me just close all of this. Let's go to our task page. So here I'm going to convert this one to a client component, and here what we can do, we'll take a class name, we'll do empty of 5. Let's make a rounded of 20px. Now here what you can do, so here first thing we are going to import here card component. Now here we have to pass the additional styles, if you remember. So here we'll do pb of 7 and we'll do p of 20px. Now inside this we'll take another div, we'll do a class name. So here we are going to do this one as relative flex row, and we are going to make justify as between. Okay, now inside this we are going to take another div. So we'll take a class name, so we'll do flex 1 and item center. That's it. Now here let me just open that also, so that it will be easy to check. Alright, so now inside this we'll take another div. Now here we'll take a class name. So for this one we'll do flex height of 9, width of 9. We'll do item center, we'll do justify center, we'll do rounded full, we'll do bg indigo, or what else, I think we can do bg navy 400, and or let's do one thing. For now I think this is fine, we'll do bg of white. Let's see how this is coming. For dark we are going to do bg navy of 500. Alright, now inside this we are going to import one icon. So this will be import icon from react icons /md, and the icon name is md check circle. And here what we are going to do, we'll do md check circle, and here we are going to pass a class name. So we'll do height of 6, width of 6, we'll do text brand 500. For dark we are going to do text of white. Awesome. And after this what we can do, so here let's take a h4 and we are going to render this as tasks, and here we'll take a class name. So we'll do ml of 4, we'll do text xl, we'll do text navy 700, we'll do dark text as white, and we'll do font as bold. So now let's save it, let's see what is coming. Alright, so you can see that this is looking nice. So you're getting task. On the right side we'll be having an icon, so that part we need to do. So after this div we are going to take another div here, and here we're going to take a class name. So we'll do this one as flex gap of 3, and we'll do item as center. Here we'll take another div, we'll do class name, we'll make this one as flex height of full, we'll do item center, we'll do rounded full, we'll do bg light primary, we'll do text navy of 700, dark we'll do bg navy of 900. For dark we are going to do text as white, and for xl width as 200px. Inside this we'll take a input, so we'll give a type as text, we'll do name as add task, we'll do placeholder as add new task. Alright, Also you have to give value and onChange. For now this is fine. Let's create the structure first. We'll do PL of 3, class name will do block, we'll do height of full, width of full, we'll do rounded full, we'll do BG light primary, we'll do text as SM, we'll do font medium, we'll do text navy of 700, we'll do outline as none. For placeholder we're going to do text gray 400. For dark we'll do BG navy of 900. Alright, and for dark we are going to do text as white. For dark placeholder we are going to do text as white. For SM we'll do W fit. So many classes. Let's save it. Let's see. So you're getting this add new task here. This is fine. So after this div we are going to take another icon. So I'll just copy this. This will be from A5 and let's make this on A5 plus. So here after this div we'll take A5 plus, and here we are going to take a class name. So we'll do height as 5, width as 5, cursor pointer, text gray 400. For dark we are going to do text as white. Let's save it. Let's see. Awesome. This is fine. Let's make this on 6. Let's see how this is looking. Okay. So now what we need to do on change of this, you have to store these tasks and you have to render those here. Alright, so let's start handling this particular input, and then on click of that we have to basically render all the new task here. Now because we don't have any backend for now, so what we are going to do, we'll be storing this task in local storage. So on page load we'll be extracting from the storage. So the first thing what we are going to do, so I think we already created, I think we haven't created, let me just create another state here. So what we can do, simply let's create another one. So we'll do const new task set new task, and this will be equal to use state of empty. Alright, and then we are going to pass it here. So this will be new task set new task. Let's copy this and we'll go here. So we are going to extract from use context of global context. Now here we'll take a value. So value will be our new task, and then we have to take a onChange. So onChange will be simply set new task, which will be e.target.value. That's it. So this will now automatically handle this particular input here. So now next thing what we are going to do, we have to take a onClick method here. So we'll take a onClick method for this particular icon, and here the first thing what we are going to do, we'll do set new task as empty, and also we'll create another method, something like add new task, or we'll do handle add new task. Alright, so now here we can pass this new task as a argument, and then let's create this method here. So this will be function handle add task. So this will be get current task from argument. So we're going to simply do set we have, what is the state? So I think we have another state, that is all task, and set all task. So this we are going to extract from here, and we'll do set all task. Correct. So set all task will be, first it will destructure all the tasks that we are currently having, and then after that we are going to add this new task here. Sorry, we don't do a new task, we have to do get current task. So this will automatically set our all the tasks. So let's see if this is working or not. If I now log here all task. Alright, so now let's inspect. We'll do bottom, go to console. Now we'll do first. If I now click here plus, So we're getting one object and we're getting get current task as first. Alright, so this is fine. Now one thing what we can do, instead of get current task, we'll do a title here. So title will be get current task. So now let's see. So if I now try to add something here, let's click on plus. So we are getting title here. So this we can ignore for now. This is fine. So now let me just refresh this page. Next thing what we're going to do, we'll do local storage dot set item, and here we'll do all tasks, and this will be basically json dot stringify, and here we can simply do the same logic that we are doing here. So this will store the all the tasks in our local storage, and this is done. All right, if I now let's say do something like first task added, if I do here plus, so here we'll be getting title first task added. If I go to application local storage, I think this is not happening here. Let me just refresh and check again. So we'll do something like first task, if I do plus, so let's see what is happening here, why you are not getting. Sorry, I think we are getting, so it's below, see. So we are having all task here, and this is the all task new task that we have created. So let me just do another one. So let's say do second task, do plus, let's go to application. So here now we're getting first task and the second task. So this is fine. So now what we need to do, another very important thing is that whenever we load this page, so on page load also have to extract all the tasks that is currently available on the local storage. So how we are going to do that? So there are two places you can do that. Either you can do that in the common layout, or I think best will be to do this one in the context. So what we can do, we can simply take a use effect here, and we'll pass a empty dependency. So that means this will run on the first time, and here we'll do set all task. This will be json dot parse. This will be local storage dot get item, and this will be all tasks, or else this will be empty. Now this will automatically set all the tasks that we'll be having on the page load. See, now we are getting two tasks here. See, we are getting two tasks, correct? So now what we can do, we can simply render this task here. So now let's go here, before card, we'll take another div, we'll take a class name, we'll do height of full, width of full, and here we'll log all items, sorry, all task, and all task dot length, if this is true, or else this will be null. So we will do all task dot map, so this will be task, and here we'll return another div. So we'll do here, let's take a index, so we'll do pass here key as index, and inside this what we are going to do, so for this one also let's take a class name. So we'll do a empty of 2, we'll do flex item center, justify between, and p of 2. All right, now inside this we'll take another div, where I'm taking, let me check. All right, now here what we are going to do, we'll take another paragraph, and we'll basically render this task dot title, and we'll take a class name here. So we'll do text as base, we'll do font bold, we'll do text navy 700, and for dark we are going to do, sorry, dark we'll do text as white. Also we'll take another class name for this div, parent div, so we'll do flex item center, justify center, and gap of 2. I think this gap is not required. Let's remove this one. Let's see what is happening. So we're getting first task and second task. If I try to add another one, so this will be third task. This is added. If I now refresh this, so we're getting 3 tasks and this is working fine. All right, so now this is done. Now what will be the next step? So see what will happen if I go to this Kanban board. So here, or we can also like say this on as a Jira board. So here what will happen, whatever task we'll be having here, that will be automatically assigned to one board. So let's say we are having an unassigned board, so that board automatically reflect all the tasks that we are having, and based on that we'll be able to move those tasks to different boards. So that part we are going to start working on the next part, and after that we'll be start working on these reports and charts. I think we have already completed, and this is looking very nice, right? So let's start working on this Kanban part in the next part. Alright everyone, so let's start working on our Kanban board. So the first thing is that, as I already told you, that we'll be having basically 4 sections. One will be unassigned, then we'll be having to do, then in progress, and then at the end we'll be having done. Now I'm not making this part so much complicated because this will be very difficult for beginner to understand, but we can do something like originally we have in the Jira board, something like you can create dynamic card values also. So let's say we are currently having 4. Now instead of 4 you want to add one more, so in that case it will be very complicated. So for now let's keep this one very simple. So first I'll create the basic structure, and then we'll be start working on the drag and drop functionality. So now what I'm going to do, so first let's do one thing. Let's go to our page. So this is our page.js. Now here we need to use our React hooks, so I'll be using use client here. Alright, now the first thing is that what I'm going to do, so let's take one div here. Now obviously we need to change this structure later, but for now this is fine. So here we'll take a class name, we'll make this one as grid. We'll do grid columns of 1, and also for MD we'll do grid calls of 2. For Excel we'll do grid calls of 4, and also we'll do gap of 5. Alright, now here what we are going to do, we'll create some item card Kanban card component. So what we can do, let's go to our components, let's create another folder, and here I'll create let's create this one as index.js. So here we'll do use client. So this will be export default function Kanban card. Alright, so for now we'll just return the same, so we'll return a div. This will be Kanban card. Now let's go here. So here I'm going to import that. Okay, now here, so the first one we need basically 4, so I'll copy paste 4 times, and this will receive a prop here. So this will receive a title prop. So the first one title, we'll keep this one as, so this will be title as we'll do this one as unassigned. Alright, next we'll do a title of to do. Let's make this one as to do. Then we are having a title of we'll do in progress, and at the end we'll be having a title of done. Alright, so this is fine. Now let's go back. So we're having 4 cards here, so we'll go here. Now let's start working on this particular card component. So the first thing what we'll do here, let's remove this. So we will be having a class name, so we'll do flex. Here we'll do flex of 3. We'll do rounded 20px. We'll do a dark, so sorry, we'll do a dark. So for dark we are going to do background of navy 800. We'll do bg of white. We'll do p of 5. We'll do flex call, and we'll do mean height of 30 rem. Okay, now here we'll take a h1 and we'll render the title. So here we'll take a class name, so we'll make this one as font bold. Alright, so now here we'll take another div, take a class name, we'll do flex1, flex gap of 5 and flex call. Alright, now inside this we'll be having all the items. So items is basically each and every task that we'll be creating. Alright, so this task will be receiving from our parent component, or basically this component. So this will be our tasks. Alright, so here what we'll do, we'll basically check here if this task and tasks dot length is true, or else this will be null. So here what we are going to do, we'll do tasks dot map. So here we'll simply get the item, or let's take a task. Now here we'll create another component here. So let's create this component here only. So we'll do function, this will be Kanban item, this will receive item as a prop, and we are going to return this Kanban item. So we'll pass this item as this task as a prop. Alright, and I think this is fine. Also here what we can do, we can simply pass the parent property, because the parent property is basically this each and every parent. So let's say this is unassigned, this is to do, this is in progress, and this is done. So these all are the parent. So here what we can do, simply we can pass another parent. Parent will be task dot title. Now this title is basically here, if you see, we are having this title here for each and every task. Okay, so this is fine. So now let's format this. Now here we have to return this Kanban item, so we have to create the structure. So here we are going to return, we'll return a div, and here we are going to take a class name. So we'll do rounded 30px, we'll do p of 3, we'll do flex, we'll do justify center, item center, we'll do shadow 100, we'll do dark shadow none, we'll do font as bold. For BG we are going to use this color FFC46B. Alright, and what else? For dark we're going to use a text of black, or else normally we'll use text of white. Awesome, and here we'll take a h1 and we'll render this item dot title. Okay, so I think for now this is fine. If I now save, nothing will obviously come because we don't have any items here. What we need to do now, let's go to our task. So whenever we'll be having these three tasks should be automatically basically assigned here, because this is the unassigned section. So how we are going to do that? So for this one I have to create some more state. So let's start with the first one. So we'll do here we'll do unassigned items, set unassigned items. So this will be use state of empty. Then we are having const to do items, set to do items. So this also will be use state of empty array. Then we are having const in progress items, set in progress items, and this will be equal to use state of empty array. And at the end we are having const done items and set done items. This will be equal to use state of empty array. Alright, so now let's pass all of this. So we'll pass it here. Let's format this. So we'll pass to do items, then we'll pass in progress items, set in progress items, done items. Sorry, we have to make this one as done items. Alright, and set done items. So now how we are going to do that? So now let's go to our Kanban, and here first we have to import all of these. So we'll do const and we'll import all of this from use context of global context. So we'll take all of this. So let's take from here and we'll destructure here. Alright, so here we have to pass the tasks. So for the unassigned, so this will be unassigned items, correct? Same for this one, this will be to do items, in progress, and done items. So this will be done items, this will be to do items, and this will be in progress items. Let's save it. So now you'll see we will not get anything because we don't saved any data here. Alright, so now what we need to do, basically, if you noticed that whenever we'll be adding a new task, so that time that same task we have to add in the unassigned task also. So what we can do, we can simply import this unassigned task. So let me just copy it from here, correct, and then we can basically paste it here. So now this set unassigned task will be same as, first we have to get the unassigned items, and then we'll do the same things. We'll add this title as this get current task. So whenever we'll be adding a new task, that will be automatically assigned to the unassigned items, correct? Now you can definitely make this one as task. For now I make this one as items. Sorry, my mistake, but this is also fine. Now same thing, what you can do, you can copy this and paste it here, and this will be unassigned, sorry, what is the spelling, unassigned items, and here we'll do the same thing what we have done here, correct? So this is one thing. Now we'll go to context, and then again we have to get it from here. So we'll do set unassigned items, which will be json.parse. This will be local storage dot get item, and here we have to do unassigned items, or else this will be empty. This is done. So now let's see if this is working or not. Currently it will not work. I think we are getting some error. Sorry, I think we have done in the wrong place. So this will be json.parse. I think we have to cut it from here or else here. And I think the same thing we can do here. Okay, now I think this is fine. Let's save it. Let's see. Okay, so now let's go to our application first, and we'll clear the local storage. Let's clear this local storage. Okay, now refresh this. Now let's go to our tasks. So we'll create a first task, added. If I now create here, this is added. Let's go to our Kanban page. Awesome. See, now first task is added here. Alright, so that means if I now go back and create another task, second task, if I add here, go here, so this will be automatically added here, and this is the correct. So currently these are in the unassigned state, and also we have to give some margin here, where we need to give that. So let's go to this page. I think here we can give margin top of 4. Okay, so now this is fine. Now we have to start working on the drag and drop functionality. So let's do that. So the first thing what we need to do, now this basically depend on the parent-child relationship. Now parent is basically each and every this parent, and for each and every parent you are having some task. So these all are the task. So the first thing what we need to do, we'll go to this Kanban page, and I'll close everything else, So the first, whatever we are doing here, this we have to wrap with a context. And what will be the context? For that we are using this dnd package, so we have to wrap this one in dnd context. So we'll do here dnd context. All right, now here we have to pass some properties. So the first thing you have to pass a collision detection, so this is one property, and here we have to pass this rect intersection. So this we have to import it from this dnd kit/core. Now this context will give you a on drag end method or property, you can say. So when we'll basically at the end of the drag, this will give us event, and based on this event you can do lot of functionality that you want to achieve. Now here this will give you some of the properties that we can basically access. So the first thing is that it will give you a container. So here we'll do e dot over dot id. So this will basically give you the container id. Then we are having the current data. So what we can do, simply let's log here e dot active dot data dot current. So let's see what is happening, and also let's log this parent here, container here. Save this. See, nothing will work for now. This will definitely not going to work. See, nothing is happening because we haven't given the ref here, so you have to also pass the ref. So let's do one thing. We have to basically pass the ref. So we'll go to our Kanban item component, which is this component here, and here we have to pass the ref. So to pass the ref, what we can do, we can take this ref, or basically the node ref, from this hook. This is called use droppable, and here we have to pass the id. So the id will be this title. Now this title is basically the title of each and every container. So here we'll unassign to do in progress and done. Now here we have to basically get the set node ref, and here now what we need to do, basically in this here in this div, which is basically the container of all the tasks. So here we have to pass the ref, which will be this set node ref. So this is one step. So this means we are referring to this particular div, which will be this div of this combination of all the tasks that we are having here. So this is the first step. Now second step, what we need to do, for each and every Kanban item that we are having, you also have to pass the properties, some of the properties that we need to pass. So the first thing, we need to pass attributes, we have to pass the listeners, we have to pass the node ref, and also we can pass some transform property also. So here again the same thing we have to use. So this will be use droppable, and here we have to pass the id. So id will be the title. All right, so here we are having this item, so this will be item dot title. Okay, next what we are having, we also have to pass the data property here. So data will be here title, which will be item dot title. Also have to pass the parent. So I think we are already passing parent here. So this is the parent. Okay, and also have to pass a index. So here we have to pass the index. So this index also have to pass. So what we can do here, we can take a index here, and this will be our index. Will pass a index, which will be this index here. So this is the index that we are passing. So this index will receive here, and this we are passing here. Now this will basically give us, as I already told you, this will give us the attributes. Also this will give us listeners. Okay, what else? We have to pass the set node ref, and also you can pass a transform property here. Now what we can do, we can simply do here const set style, and here we can pass transform, which will be css dot translate, css dot translate dot to string, and here we are going to pass this transform. Okay, sorry, I think we are using wrong spelling here. This will be transform. Now in this div we have to pass all the properties, so you will pass the listeners here. We are also going to pass the attributes. Then we are going to pass the ref, which will be set node ref, and for style we'll pass this transform, which will be this set style dot transform. And I think this is fine. Alright, let's save all of this. Now let's go back. Alright, we are getting a toString of undefined. Let me check the spelling here. So you're using transform dot toString. Okay, I think everything is fine here. Oh, sorry, we have to import it. So you have to import it from DND kit only. So we'll do import from, so this will be DND kit. We have to from utilities, correct? So you have to import it here. So this will be CSS. Okay, now I think this should work. Let's save it. Let's see. Okay, so now this is fine. Now let's see if I try to also, let's give a cursor here. So we'll give cursor pointer. Okay, now let's see what is happening. So nothing will happen. The reason is, again, we haven't created that on drag end functionality. So let's quickly finish this one. So here this current will give you some of the properties that we will be able to get it. So the first thing is the title, index, and the parent. All right, so here we'll do const title, and here we are going to do this same e.active.data.current. all right, so here this will give you dot title, or else we are going to make this one empty. Next we'll be having index, so this will be, we'll copy this one, so this will be current dot index, or else this will be 0. Let's copy this. Next we'll be having parent, so this will be our parent. If no parent is present, so you're going to make this one as to do by default. So if you see the same name we have given here, so this is to do. So this is our container title, index, and parent. So now we have to create the functionality. So this will be if container, so we'll check if the container is equal to do. So what we need to do, first we have to basically set our to do items. So we'll do set to do items. So we'll basically destructure the to do items. Okay, and here we are going to pass the title. Now this title is basically this current title that we are having here. All right, so this will be this title. Okay, now else we'll check if container is let's say done. So again the same thing, so we'll do copy this, so we'll do set done items. So we'll again log the done items, sorry, destructure done items, and we'll pass the current title. Else if we'll do a container is equal to unassigned, so we'll do set unassigned items. So we'll get the unassigned items, and then we'll pass the title. Else this will be definitely the in progress. So we're going to do set in progress items, will be first we'll get the current in progress items, and we'll pass the current title. So this is all about our current container. Next we are having the current parent. So here what we can do, we can basically check now based on parent. So we'll do if parent is now to do, and we are going to do the same logic. Else if parent is equal to done. Else if parent is equal to unassigned. Else this will be in progress. So if the current parent is to do, what we are going to do, so we'll be moving the item from to do to a different item, correct? So that means what we can do, we'll get the current index of that item that we are dragging or basically dropping. correct? So simply we can basically take here set to do items, because this is if the parent is to do. So here first we are going to do, so we'll take the current to do items and then we'll slice this one 0 to till index. Now this is very important. This index is basically the current item. So current items, I mean this individual item that we are having. So we are slicing from 0 to this index, and then again we'll do to do items dot slice, and we'll do from index +1. That's it, from the next set of items. All right, now same logic we have to do for all the other three. So here same, and this will be same. Now for this done, this will be set done items. So here it will be done items, this will be done items, this will be set unassigned. So this will be unassigned items, and this is set in progress. This will be in progress items and in progress items, and this is done. All right, so this is what we are doing on drag end. All right everyone, so now I think everything is done. So let's test once, let's see if this is working or not. So we'll go here, let's close this. All right, so now if I try to move, okay, this is not working. Let me just check. So passing index, use droppable. So this is the title. Then we have to parent, parent will be task. Parent will be the title of the parent, not the current task title. This is wrong. Now let's see. So we're having Kanban item use, see here we need to do use draggable, not droppable, because we will be dragging this one. Now here we are passing item dot title index parent. Now let's see what is happening here. So you already logged in here, right? If I now go back, let's say try, okay, now see this is moving from unassigned. If I move to do, so you can see that this is getting logged here. So line number 28, if you noticed here, container we are getting to do. So that means we are moving from this parent to this container. So that means that is the reason what we are doing. If the current container is to do, we are adding this current title. Now this current title, from where this is coming, if you noticed here, e.active.data is basically this data that you are passing. You're passing title, index and parent, correct? So the same thing you will be able to get it here, as simple as that. Now if you noticed, if I move this one from to do to in progress, now you're getting to in progress. All right, so container is in progress but parent is to do. So that is the reason, if the parent is to do, so we are actually moving or slicing that item, because this item is not present here, correct? So this is present here. If I move this one from here to done, now you can see we are getting done here, and this is in progress. So that is the reason we are slicing from the parent and we are adding in the container. That means whatever I'm explaining again, if I move from here to there, so that means from done to we are moving to in progress. So we have to add this one in progress, but in the done we have to remove it, and this is done. So now what we can do, we can simply store all of this in our local storage. So now let's start with this part. So so this is pretty simple. So from this to do, what we can do, we can simply do here local storage dot set item. So let's make this one as to do items, and this will be json dot stringify, and here we'll do the same thing. That's it. Let's copy this. So this will be for done. So we'll make this one as done items, and this will be done items. Then we are having unassigned, so this will be our unassigned items. I think this is the name we have given there also. Let me just check. So we are having unassigned items, so you can see that. So unassigned items, and this will be unassigned items, or else this will be in progress items. So here this will be in progress. Okay, the same here. Now the same thing we have to do here. So here we'll do local storage dot set item. So this will be our to do items, correct? and here we'll do json.stringify, and we'll copy the same logic from here and we'll paste it here. Let's copy this. So this will be our done items. So this will be done, and this will be done. So many done. Now let's copy this, let's paste it here. So this will be our unassigned items. So if the parent is unassigned, so we'll be removing from unassigned items, or else this will be in progress items. So this will be in progress. Correct? I hope this concept is clear. So that means from the parent we are removing, and then the container we are adding. So from unassigned to do, so unassigned is the container, unassigned is the parent, to do is the container. So from parent we are moving to container, so we are adding this to container, but we are moving to parent. All right, so now let's see what will happen if I now refresh this first time. So we'll be getting all of this in unassigned. This is correct. If I go to task, we are getting 2. Let's add another one, so this will be third task. Let's add, let's go to our board, we are getting, let's move this on to first to do. Now refresh this, now see what is happening. Okay, so you're not getting here, so this part we need to check. Correct, I know the reason. The reason is pretty simple, because in our context we have to get it. So here also you have to do it. So you have to do it for set done items, we have to do it for set in progress items, and also you have to do it for set what else we are having, unassigned, done in progress, and to do items. This part also you need to do. So paste it here, here, and here. So this will be our to do items, this will be in progress, and this will be our done items. If I now format and save this, now let's see, now you're getting to do here. If I move third to in progress, let's refresh this. Okay, so you're not getting here. Let's see what in progress we have done. In progress, now we should get it. So you're getting here. Let's move the second task to done. Let's refresh this, we are getting here. Let's go to task, let's another one, fourth task added, and we'll do fifth task added. Let's go to our board, we're getting here. Let's move this on here and here. Let's refresh this, so you're getting here. This is working fine, awesome job. If I try to move this on from here to unassigned, let's refresh this, so you're getting the data here. So that means our Kanban board is completed, and also with this you also have some basic idea that how you can use this drag and drop functionality. What we have done, if I now explain again, so first I wrap this one in our DND context. Then in this page we have two sections. One is the droppable, that from where we are dropping, and one is the draggable, which item we are dragging, and based on that parent and container relationship we are basically moving from parent and adding the item in the container. So this is the main concept. So this is done, chart is done, Kanban is done, task is done. Let's start working on these reports. Then we'll be adding all of this and we'll be creating our dashboard, and this is done. So let's start working on this report page in the next. So let's start working on the reports page. So the first thing what we are going to do, so here let's go to our report page. Where is that? So here. So I'm going to close everything else and we'll convert this one to use client. Alright, now here I'll remove this one. So let's take another div. So the first thing we'll do a class name, we'll do empty of 6. Let's make this one as 5, and here we are going to import our card component, and here we need to pass some additional styles. So here we'll do w as full, width as full, and px of 6. Alright, now here what we can do, we can take a header and inside this we are going to take a div and we'll show something like report analytics. So for this header we'll take a class name, so we'll do this one as a relative flex item center justify between, and we'll do pt of 4. In this div we are going to take class name, so here we'll do text excel, we'll do font as bold, we'll do text navy 700, and for dark we are going to do text as white. That's it. Now here we also need to create a model component, so that we are going to create in a minute. But before that, let's do one thing. So we will be basically having a model and there will be a form, and then we have to basically give some information. Based on that it will create the report data. So for now what we can do, we can simply create some dummy data. So this will be dummy data, and here we will take an ID of, let's say, 1, then we'll take a name, so we'll give this one as report 1, then we'll take the number of visitors, so here we'll take this one as, let's say, 1000, then we'll be having sales, we'll give some value like 4 5 6 7 8, any random value, then we'll be having revenue, so revenue will give this one as 252456. all right, what else we can give? We can also give another thing, and that is the task. Now these all are some, see, if you notice one thing, that you will obviously think that this doesn't make sense. See, the prime objective of this particular course is to understand how you can create admin dashboard. Obviously these all the things that what we are doing, it is basically not applicable in the real life project. I hope you are getting what I'm trying to explain. But if you know the concept, then using this concept you will be able to create your own project based on your own requirement. So at the end that will be our prime object. So here we'll be having a task which will keep this one as task 1, something like that. Now let's copy this and we'll paste it 2 more times. So this will be ID of 2, report of 2, this will be ID of 3, and report of 30, anything. So now here what we are going to do, after div we are going to take another div here, sorry, after header, and here we'll do flex call, then inside this we are going to take another div, so we'll take a class name, we'll do this one as overflow x auto, we'll do sm minus mx of 6, for large we'll do minus mx of 8. all right, inside this we'll take another div, we'll take a class name, here we'll do inline block, we'll do min width full, py of 2, sm px of 6, and large px of 8. Inside this we'll take another div, we'll take a class name, we'll do overflow hidden, here we are going to render our table. So inside this we are going to take a table. Now here we are going to take a class name, so we'll do min width of full, then we'll do text sm, and we'll do font light. Here we'll take a t head, so here we'll take another class name, we'll do border b, we'll do font medium, for dark we are going to do border neutral, sorry, this will be neutral 500, something like that. Here we are going to take tr, and we'll be having all the columns, so here I'll take all the columns, so this will be our columns. So here the first thing, it will be name, then we are having visitors, then we are having sales, then we are having revenue, and at the end we are having the task. So inside this tr we'll basically render these columns dot map, So this will be columns dot map. This will be column, and here I'm going to render th. So render column here, and for this th we'll give a scope. So this will be column, and we'll give a class name. So for this one I'll do px of 6, py of 4. Let's format all of this. So this is fine. So now after t head we'll take our t body. Alright, so here we are going to render our dummy data dot map. This will be data item, and here we are going to render our tr. For this one also let's take the same class name that we have taken here. So this will be class name, and here we'll be having our td. So here we'll render this data item dot name, and then we'll copy this 3, 4 and 5. This will be visitors, this will be sales, this will be revenue, and this will be task. Now for this td we are going to take class name. So here we'll do white space no wrap. We'll do px of 6, py of 4, and we are going to do font as medium. Let's use the same class name. Let's format this, and I think this is fine. Let's save it. Let's see what we are getting. Alright, so this is fine, but here we are getting some issue. So what we can do basically, so we are rendering where is that? In the table we can do text as left. Let's see. Okay, so now we're having name, visitors, sales, revenue and task. So we'll be having one button here. On click of that we are going to open a material dialog. There we will be having a form, and then we'll be creating our report. So let's start creating the model first. So we'll go to components and create another one. This will be model, and let's create index.js, and this will be use client export default function common model. So here what we're going to do first, so let's return here. So return div. So now the first thing what we are going to do is import this a5 plus icon, and here we are going to take a class name. So we'll do height of 4, width of 4, we'll do cursor pointer, text gray 400, and for dark we are going to do text as white. That's it. And now also if we go here we have to import this common model component. Let's save it. Let's see. So you're getting this one here. This is fine. Also let's do one thing. Let's make this one as 6. Okay. So now after this what we can do, we can import our dialog. So this will be dialog from material UI, and here we have to pass a open prop. So what we can do, we can simply take something like that. We can take a local state. So this will be open model set open model. This will be use state of false. Okay, now on click of this we are going to make set open model as true, and here we have to pass this open property which will be our open model. Okay, also on close we are going to make this one as false. Set open model will be false. That's it. Now here we are going to take our dialog content. So here let's take some class name, So here we'll do a height of 80 and width of 80. Let's save this. Let's see what is happening. If I click here, okay, nothing is opening for now. Let's see, let's put some content here. So we have dialog, and then inside this we are going to take another div. We'll take a class name, we'll give flex column, and we'll do gap of 5. Now here what we can do, we can create our form controls. So we create our form controls. So here what we are going to do, we'll give a name. So this will be name, type, this will be text, we'll add a placeholder, and this will be for placeholder. We'll do this on enter report. We'll do enter report name, and here we're going to do component as input. Let's copy this and paste it 5 times. Also here we are going to do options as empty. So let's copy this again, paste it 3 more times, 5. So second one, this will be our visitors, type is number, enter visitors count, component input, options empty. Next we're having sales, this will be a number again, this will be enter number of sales input, and this will be empty. Then we are having revenue, this will be also number, enter revenue. Then we are having task, this will be type of select, this will be select task, and for this one this will be component, sorry, the type will be nothing here, this will be select, component will be select, and options we have to basically render. Now what we can do basically here, we can do one thing. So first thing is that we are going to take, let's go to our context, and then we're having all task. So this one we are going to take it from use context of so here this will be global context, correct? And now here what we can do, simply we can cut it from here and can paste it here, and then what we can do, we can pass this one here. So this will be all task, and an all task dot length, this is true or else this will be empty. So this will be all task dot map item, and here what we are going to do, return a label which will be item, and we return value which will be item, and I believe we have item dot title. That's it. Alright, so now let's save it. Let's see what we are getting in this form controls. So log here form controls. Okay, we are getting some error. Let's see. Okay, let's refresh this. Okay, so you can see that we are getting in the task, we are getting array of 5. So we are having all the task level and the value. Awesome. So now let's go here. Now after this, what we can do, we can simply render. So we'll do here something like form controls dot map. So this will be control, and here we can check if control dot component, if this is input, so render a input, or else this will be select. So here we'll take a div, okay, and this will be a select, and here what we are going to do, we'll basically take one option, this will be select, Here we'll pass a id of empty and value of empty. And here what we are going to do, we will basically take control dot options and then control dot options dot length, or else this will be null. So here we'll just do control dot options dot map, this will be option item. So here we are going to render option, and we'll render this option item dot label, and here we'll be having the id, which will be option item dot id, and value also will be, sorry, this will be option item dot value. So this will be option item dot value, and this will be option item dot value. If this is input, so we are going to take another div, and here this will be input. Also here you have to pass the name, so name will be so this will be control dot name. Then we have a placeholder, this will be control dot placeholder. Same for this one also. So copy this, and here we have to pass the type, so type will be control dot type. Now in this div we are going to take some class name, so we'll do flex, we'll do height of 40 px, we'll do item center, we'll do rounded full, we'll do bg light primary, we'll do text navy 700. For dark we're going to do bg navy 900. For dark we'll do text as white. Okay, for this div also we are going to use the same class name. Now in this input we are going to take class name, so for input we'll do pl of 3, we'll do block, height of full, width of full, we'll do rounded full, we'll do bg light primary, we'll do text sm, font medium, we'll do text navy 700, we'll do outline as none. For placeholder we'll do text gray 400. For dark we'll do bg navy of 900, we'll make this one as important. And for dark we'll do text as white. What else? For dark we'll do placeholder, which will be text as white, and for sm we'll do w fit. Let's copy this, and we'll use the same class name for this also, select also. I think this is done. Let's save it. So now let's see what is happening. If I click here, so you're getting report name, visitor count, sale, revenue, and select. And here I think we can remove this part from here. Let me just do it. So remove this one from here and this one. Okay, so a number of revenue, sales count, and report name. Alright, now after this what we can do basically, so after the dialog content we will take dialog actions, and here we render a button, and this will be add new report. Here we'll take a class name, so we'll do border rounded 20 px, we'll do text as large, we'll do px of 12, py of 3, we'll do bg as white, we'll do text gray 600. For dark we'll do text as white, for dark we'll do bg navy 800. Let's save it. Let's see. So if I click here, so we're getting add new report. So now the structure is completed. Now we have to start working on this form data. So what we can do, we can go to our context and let's create another state here, and also let's do one thing. So here I'll do export const report initial, or let's do initial report form data, and this will be name will be empty, visitors will be 0, sales will be 0, revenue will be 0, and task will be empty. And here we'll do const report form data set report form data. This will be use state of initial report form data. Now let's copy this and we'll pass it here. Awesome. Now we will go to model, and then we are going to import it from our context, and then we can go to our input, and then we can take our value. So value will be report form data of this control dot name, and we'll take a on change, which will be set report form data, which will be report form data, and this will be control dot name equal to e dot target dot value. Now these all are very basic concepts, so that is the reason I'm not explaining in details. Now we can copy this one and we can paste the same thing here. This is done. Now we'll take a on click here, so we'll do on click handle add new report, and then we'll create this method. So this will be function handle add new report. So here the first thing what we are going to do, we'll copy the existing reports. So copy reports, from where this will be coming. So for this one we have to create another state here. So here we'll do const all reports data set all reports data. This will be use state of empty array. Now here we'll copy this and we'll paste it here. We'll go here and then we'll destructure here. So first we'll copy reports data. So we'll copy all report data. The reason is we are not directly mutating the state. So we'll do reports we'll do all reports data. And now here what we are going to do, because currently we are not doing any edit functionality, so we can directly push the data. So we'll do copy reports data dot push. So here we'll do id, we'll push id. So id will be this all reports data dot length plus 1, and then here we will be doing we can directly push the reports form data. That's it. And then we'll do set all reports data will be copy all reports data, and then we are going to make this one empty, the form. So we'll do set set report form data will be initial report form data, and this is done. Let's save it. Let's see what we are getting in this all reports data. Okay, so now we'll go to console, we'll do plus, so we'll do report 10, and this will be, let's say 1000, any random value, 2000, 20,000, 5000, and let's say first task. If I click add new report, we are getting data here. So we're having id 1, name report, visitors, sales, and the revenue. Awesome. And also this is getting reset data. Also you have to close this form. So here what we can do, we can make this set open model will be false. Alright, so now instead of re-rendering the dummy data, we can basically render this report form data. Also what we can do, we can store this data in our local storage. So here we can do local storage dot set item. This will be all reports data, and this will be json dot stringify copy all reports data. That's it. Now what we need to do on page load, again what we have done, same thing we have to do here. So we'll take this set all reports data. This will be json dot parse, and this will be local storage dot get item. This will be all reports data, or else this will be empty. Save it. So now we can go here. Instead of rendering this dummy data, what we can do, we can take const all reports data from use context of global context, and then instead of rendering the dummy data, we can render this all reports data. Also you can check something like if the length is true, then only we are going to render, or else this will be null. Let's save it. So we don't have anything here. Let's add something. So we'll add report 1. This will be 1000 some value, and then we are going to select first task, add new report. We are getting data here. If I now refresh this, we are getting the data from our storage. Awesome job. So this is working fine. So now we have actually completed all of these. Now next thing what we need to do, complete the reports, tasks, Kanban board, and charts. So now in the next part, we don't have to do anything else. We'll combine all of these, and based on that we'll be creating our dashboard. That's it. So let's do that in the next part. Alright everyone, so now let's start working on this dashboard component. Now this will be pretty simple because we have completed rest of the sections. We just have to combine all of this, and based on that we can create the dashboard the way we want. So the first thing is that before that we have to create another small reusable component that will be a kind of widget. So you can go to our components folder. Let's create another folder here. Let's give this one name as widget, and this will be index.js. So this will be use client. Now here we'll do export default function widget. So this will receive some props. So it will receive icon prop, then it will receive title. Also this will receive a subtitle. Now here we are going to return card component, and here let's add some additional style. So here we are going to make this one as flex row. We'll do flex grow. We'll do items as center. We'll do rounded 20px, and for dark we are going to make this one as bg navy 800. Alright, inside this we'll take another div. We'll take a class name. We'll do margin left of 18px. We'll do flex. We'll do height of 90px. We'll do w as auto, flex row, and also we'll do item as center. Alright, inside this we'll take another div. Let's take a class name. So we'll do rounded full. We'll do bg light primary p of 3, and for dark we are going to do bg navy of 700. Here we'll take a span, and we're going to render the icon. So here we'll be having class name. So we'll do flex item center, and text of, we're going to use ffc46b. Alright, now after this div we'll take another div here. So let's take a class name. So we'll do height of 50, ml of 4, flex w auto. We'll do flex column and justify center. So we'll take our paragraph, and here we are going to render our title, and here we'll take a h4 and we'll render our subtitle. So here we'll take a class name, so we'll do text asm, we'll do font medium, we'll do text gray 600. For this one we'll take a class name, so we'll do text excel, we'll do font bold, we'll do text navy 700, and for dark we're going to do text as white. So this is all about the widget that we need. So now let's start working on the main dashboard layout page. So let's go to our dashboard page. Where is that? Okay, now here let's close everything. We'll convert this one to use client because we are going to use some of the hooks and also the context. So here I'll remove this one. So we'll take a div, we'll take a class name, and we'll do empty of 3. We'll do grid calls of 1, we'll do gap of 5. For MD we'll do grid calls of 2. For large we'll do grid calls of 3, and for 2XL also we are going to do grid calls of 3. For 3XL we are going to do grid columns of 6. Alright, inside this we are going to import our widget. Now we can do one thing, we can do something like that. We create our widget data. So here, so the first one will be our title. So here we can give the reports, how many reports are there. Subtitle, so in the subtitle we have to basically render the value. So for now I'll give this one as 5. Later we are going to change this one. So here we are going to give the icon. So icon will be our MD reports, this icon, and here we are going to use a class name, height of 7 and width of 7. So let's copy this. Next, what we can render, we can render the tasks. We'll give 5, so this will be MD task. Let's copy this. We'll render here, let's say sales. We'll do MD, I don't think we have MD sales. What else we can give? For now we'll give some let's check once what are the icons we have. We'll do React icons. We'll search for sales. If we do sell, let's see which one we can take. Search for money. Okay, there are so many. Let's take this one only. BI money withdraw. Let's copy this. So this will be BI and this will be BI money withdraw. Okay, so we have sales. Then what else we have? We have also visitors. So here we can take some person or something like that, person. So we can take this one only. Okay, we are not getting any suggestion. Let's say can do this. So this will be from BS and this will be this BS fill person check. Okay, next we have revenue. So here we have REVNUE. We're not getting anything. Let's search for money only. Let's take something else. Let's say which one? We can take this one. Here also you're not getting anything. Let's take it from FA and this will be FA money bill wave. So 1 2 3 4 5. What else we have in the reports? So we have task, visitors, name, sales. What else we can render here? We can render the total number of boards. Boards means we have this Kanban board, right? So there also we can render that for now. So let's do here board. So you have 4, and let's do this one as, let's see what is coming in board. Anything is coming. Let's search for Kanban. Awesome. So you're getting, let's take, which one to take? We'll take this one, something different. Okay, so we'll copy this. This will be LU, and we'll copy this one and then paste it here. Okay, so we've created this one. So now what we can do, we can simply map this widget data dot map. This will be widget item, and we can render the widget, and we can pass the props. So title will be widget item dot title. Then we are having subtitle. This will be widget item dot subtitle. Then we are having icon. This will be widget item dot icon, and this is done. So now let's format all of this. Let's save it. Let's see what we are getting in here. Okay, this is taking some time. Awesome, looking so good. So you can see that this is looking awesome. Okay, so having reports, task, sales, visitors, revenue, and board. Now here we are going to render all the charts. So what we can do, so let's do one thing. After this div, we are going to take another div here. Let's take a class name, and we'll do empty of 5. We'll do greet calls of 1, gap of 5, and we'll do md greet calls of 3. We'll do 2 times. Now here we are going to render the same thing. So we'll render chart card. So this will be, we'll give this one. Now here we can give any name we want. So let's say we'll give a title here. So we'll give this one as sales analytics, something like that. And here we'll pass the chart data. So here we have this, which one to take? We'll take this one as the line chart data. Then we have chart options. This will be line chart options. Okay, and then there will be type, which will be line. Alright, now after this, what we can do, we can copy this, we'll paste it here. This will be, let's give any name, doesn't matter, revenue analytics. This will be bar chart data category 1. This will be bar chart data options category 1, and type will be bar. Let's copy this, and here we'll pass something like visitors analytics. So this will be, let's say, area data we want to render. This will be area data option, and this will be area. Let's format this. Let's see what is coming. Okay, let's refresh this. Okay, awesome. So your sales, revenue, visitor analytics, obviously these all are dummy data, but for now this is fine. Now after this, what we can do, so here we have to render 3 more. So let's start with another one. So we'll let's copy this from here only. So we'll paste it 3 times, 1, 2, and 3. So we'll give this one as, let's say, what we can give, traffic analytics. So for this one, we'll do bar chart category, we'll do bar chart category 2, and this will be bar chart category options 2. This will be bar. After this, we'll do here what we can give, tasks analytics. This will be pie chart data, and this will be pie chart options, and this will be type of pie. And here we'll be having mixed analytics. So this will be mixed chart data, this will be mixed chart data options, and type will be line for this one. Let's save it. Let's see. Awesome. Okay, now after this we'll take another div. See now how this is simple. So based on your convenience, you can basically modify this structure. So here we just have to render the reports. That's it. So now you'll get the report here. See, we are getting reports here. Now let's take another div. We'll copy this. So here we want to render the tasks, and also we'll copy this one again and we'll render the Kanban, and this will give me all of this at one place. Let's save it. Let's see. Awesome job. For this one, let's do one thing. Let's give a margin bottom of 10. See how awesome this is looking, right? So now you will be able to add from here also. Sixth task, let's add here. See, it is updated here. You will be able to move this one, right? If I now refresh this, so we are getting updated data here. If I click here, we are getting report data. So this will report 3, some value here, and let's select some. Let's add here. This is updated here. If I now go to reports, this is updated, and all of this working fine. So now one thing we need to do, we have to update all of these. So how we are going to do that? So we can go here. Now we are going to render all reports data from use context of global context. So now here what we can do simply, so here we are having the number of reports. So this will be all reports and an all reports dot length, or this will be 0. So we are having 3 reports. Okay, also you can render the all tasks. So this will be all task dot length. So you have here, so you have all tasks and an all task dot length, or else this will be 0. So you have 6 tasks, and then here what you can do, cells, right? So we'll do all reports and an all reports data dot length if this is true, or else this will be 0. So we can simply do all reports data dot reduce the current item, and this will be current plus item dot cells. So I think we have cells here. Let me just check. So we'll go to context. So we have cells here. Okay, so let's see what you're getting. So if I go here, all right, so you have to change this one to, we'll do parseInt here. We'll do parseInt of this. Okay, now the same thing we can do for others also. So for visitors, this will be visitors. So here we are having visitors, and then we are having the revenue. So this will be our revenue. So this will be revenue. Okay, and boards will be always 4. So now I think this should work. Let's see. Awesome. So now let's add something here. So we'll add report 5, we'll have 1000, 1500. Second task, add new report. Alright, so this is updated, automatically updated here, right? All of this, and everything else is done. So now let's see how this is looking good, right? So this is our reports, tasks, This is our Kanban board. This is charts. If I now try to move this onto done, let's go to our dashboard. So this is moved to done, and charts page is also done. Alright everyone, so we have completed all the things, all the components and pages. So let's do one thing before closing this video. I will give some kind of separation here. So let's give a white border, or let's give this color border here so that it will look nice. So what we can do is just checking. So here we can take another div, and then we can self close and then take a class name. So here what we can do, we can take a MB of 7, and then we'll take a margin top of 50 px, hpx, we'll do bg gray 300 or 400 normally, and then we're going to do dark bg. So for this one I think we are using some color, so let me just copy it. So we are having, okay, this color. So let me just copy this and we'll paste it here. So now let's see how this is looking. Okay, but now here what we can do, here we can make this one as 10 instead of 20. Let's remove this one. I think it's looking bad. Okay, now this is fine. Okay, so now there is a separation here and this is looking cool. If I now change this one, okay, let's use the same color. I think we no need to give any color here. We'll use the same one for both the cases. Yep. Alright, so I think this is fine. Awesome. So I think now you guys know how you can create an admin dashboard from scratch. We have done a lot of things, how to do drag and drop functionality. So I think that's all for this particular video. As I already mentioned that I'll create a part 2 for this particular project where I'll be creating all of this data using backend. For that one, either I'm going to use Prisma, PostgreSQL, or I'll be using like Node.js, Mongo. Whatever you guys will decide. So for this one I'll create a poll, and based on that you can give your preference. So that's all for this particular video. If you like this video, give a like, comment down, and please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, good luck and peace.